Not all tales are noisy. Not all relationships are born with fanfare or applause. Some begin in subtleties, in glances, in conversations behind the noise, in moments that feel ordinary to others but extraordinary to two souls in sync. That's the rhythm of sweet Guluva and Ashley Ogle. Their bond wasn't forced. It wasn't flashy. It unfolded with ease. And even now, long after the big Brother Mzansi spotlight has faded, they remain visible. Not because they're trying to be, but because real love is hard to miss. In a world that often rewards confusion, their presence together feels like a quiet revolution. When they entered the Big Brother house, Sweet and Ashley were just two individuals with unique stories, distinct personalities, and different paths. They didn't arrive as a couple. There was no grand moment of coupling designed for viewership, no performative pursuit. But something deeper began to move between them. It wasn't about instant chemistry or screen time. It was about recognition. A slow, steady unfolding. A rhythm that didn't need explanation. They didn't rush it. They didn't label it. But by the time they left the house, one thing was obvious. Whatever had started there wasn't ending. And it hasn't. It's evolved, matured, strengthened. Today, they're not just together. They're aligned. Sweet Guluva carries a calm that commands attention. Ashley radiates clarity and emotional intelligence. Together, they create something that's hard to describe and even harder to look away from. A partnership that moves with intention. They are not in love for the cameras. They're in love with the calm, the safety, the knowing. And it shows in the stillness between them. In the way Sweet holds space for Ashley to shine. In the way Ashley honors Sweet's quiet strength without demanding more noise from him. They are not trying to fit into society's mold of what a couple should look like. They are simply becoming the best version of themselves. Together. After Big Brother Mzansi, many relationships formed during the show tend to either dissolve or lose spark once they face the real world. But Sweet and Ashley? They've only grown stronger. They aren't constantly online promoting their love. They don't flood feeds with every movement. But in the spaces where they do show up together, something undeniable unfolds. Whether attending events, supporting each other's ventures, or simply appearing in each other's orbit, there is ease. Fans, friends, and even casual observers can sense the energy. They're not performing, they're present. And that's what keeps hearts leaning in. The authenticity, the groundedness, the rare energy of two people simply honoring what they've found in one another. One of the most admirable things about Ashley and Sweet is how they protect their peace. They do not share everything, and that restraint is not secrecy. It's reverence. They know what they've built is valuable, and they protect it not with walls, but with boundaries. Their story is not for trend cycles or clickbait. It's for legacy. And that kind of care, quiet, firm, unwavering, is what turns moments into movements. That's how Sweet and Ashley are winning. Not with volume, but with value. In a time when love is often synonymous with confusion, Sweet and Ashley are redefining what it looks like for two people, especially two Black South Africans, to thrive together in soft, healing love. There is nothing weak about their gentleness. There's nothing boring about their peace. Ashley is not dimming herself to accommodate Sweet. And Sweet is not posturing to appear in control. They meet each other where they are, and it shows. Their connection is built not on appearances, but on emotional safety. That's a revolution. A quiet one, but powerful nonetheless. Strong couples don't avoid work, they engage with it. And that's exactly what Sweet and Ashley seem to do. They are not just thriving together. They are growing individually. Each has pursued their own endeavors. Each continues to evolve in their craft, their lifestyle, their mindset. But what makes them inspiring as a couple is that they're not threatened by that growth. They're anchored by it. They understand something many people miss. You cannot pour from an empty cup, so they keep theirs full, not just for themselves, but for each other. And from that place of wholeness, they keep giving love, real love. Recently, Sweet and Ashley took time away. And while details were shared sparingly, one thing was clear. It wasn't about luxury, it was about liberation. Time away wasn't just a getaway, it was a celebration of how far they've come, of how much they've built, of how good it feels to breathe in each other's presence without distractions. There's something special about watching two people move in sync, not because they have to, but because they want to. And whether they were oceans away or on a quiet stroll close to home, what resonated was this: peace looks good on them. Sweet and Ashley are not motivational speakers. They're not handing out relationship advice. But just by being themselves, they're showing us all what's possible. That love can be steady. That growth can be shared. That attention is nothing compared to affection. That presence is more intimate than a post. In how they live, how they protect each other, how they continue to evolve as a unit, they remind us that longevity is not an accident. It's a choice. Daily. And they keep choosing. Not their public appearances. Not their image. Not even the big brother memory. What makes Sweet and Ashley strong is their foundation. The quiet way they listen to each other. The respect that lines their interactions. The humor. The pauses. The energy. They're not trying to be goals. They're just doing the work. And that authenticity makes them magnetic. In the lives they touch, Sweet and Ashley represent something healing. Not a perfect love story, but a whole one. One with edges, depth, softness, and symmetry. One that acknowledges their past but isn't defined by it. One that speaks to who they are, but also who they are becoming. They've created something that lasts not because it looks good, but because it feels true. They don't need to announce their next steps, because their every move speaks. They are living well, not for likes, but for legacy. Whether they decide to share more publicly or keep nurturing their life in silence, one thing feels undeniable: they are not done growing. There is still more peace to be discovered, more laughter, more building, more becoming. But what matters most? They're doing it together. And that's what keeps us rooting for them, not because they owe us a show, but because they remind us of what's real. Sweet Guluva and Ashley Ogle have never claimed a crown. But if strength is found in presence, in peace, in partnership, then they wear it well. They are not proof of perfection. They are proof of possibility. Of what can happen when two people don't just fall in love, but rise in love, sustain in love, stay in love, not by clinging but by committing. They didn't need to fight for attention. They didn't need to perform. They didn't need to rush. They simply lived. And now, whether in public or in private, their love keeps speaking. Gently, powerfully, undeniably. In a world desperate for what's authentic, Sweet and Ashley offer a quiet answer. They are the strongest couple not because they shout, but because they show up. Again, and again, and again. Thank you for watching this beautiful tale. Tell us, where are you watching from?